Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to talk to you about something deep, something real, something that will shift the way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you see yourself in this world. I want you to understand your own value, not the value somebody else tries to put on you, not what society says you're worth, but the value that's already inside you, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be lived out. See, too many of us are walking around carrying the weight of doubt, of fear, of comparison. We look to others to tell us who we are instead of looking within. But tonight, that ends. Tonight, we reclaim what's ours. Because if you don't know your value, you let the world decide it for you. And trust me, the world will always undervalue what it doesn't understand. You were born with worth. Before you took your first breath, before you opened your eyes, before you even had a name, you had value. It wasn't something you had to earn. It wasn't something you had to prove. It was already there. See, the problem is, as we grow up, the world starts throwing things at us. Doubt, fear, judgment. They tell us we gotta achieve, we gotta succeed, we gotta be something before we matter. But that's a lie. You mattered the moment you existed. You mattered when you were nothing but potential. And you matter now, no matter what you have or haven't done. But see, people forget that. They let circumstances convince them otherwise. Maybe somebody told you you weren't good enough. Maybe life knocked you down so many times you started to believe it. Maybe you're looking at where you are right now, comparing yourself to where you think you should be, and you feel like you don't measure up. But I'm here to tell you, your value is not up for debate. It's not a stock price that rises and falls. It's not a trophy you earn, it's who you are. And when you understand that, everything changes. When you truly grasp your worth, you stop chasing validation. You stop seeking approval from people who don't even see their own worth. You walk different, you talk different, you live different. Because you know that no paycheck, no title, no applause, no relationship defines you. You were already valuable. All you have to do is start acting like it. Now, that doesn't mean you stop growing. It doesn't mean you don't push yourself, challenge yourself, better yourself. It just means you do it from a place of strength, not desperation. You stop trying to prove yourself and start living in your truth. And when you do that, you become unstoppable. Some of you have spent your whole lives waiting for someone to tell you you're enough. But let me save you the time. You already are. You don't need their permission to believe in yourself. You don't need their approval to step into your greatness. The only person who can decide your worth is you. And when you finally believe in it, the world has no choice but to believe in it too. So tonight I want you to make a decision, not to find your value because it was never lost, but to own it, to walk in it, to live in it. Because once you do, everything in your life starts to align with that truth. Stop letting the world define you. You ever notice how quick people are to put you in a box? They look at where you come from, what you look like, what you do, and they decide who you are. And if you're not careful, you start believing them. You start shrinking yourself to fit their expectations. You start doubting yourself because they doubted you first. But hear me when I say this. Nobody gets to define you but you. Nobody gets to tell you what you're capable of. Nobody gets to limit your potential. The moment you let the world put a label on you, you hand them your power. And I don't know about you, but I'm not about to give my power away. See, the world operates in limitations. It likes categories, labels, definitions. But you are limitless. You are bigger than their definitions, greater than their expectations. And the moment you stop letting outside voices dictate your worth, you take your life back. Some of you have been walking around wearing labels that were never meant for you. Somebody called you a failure and you believed it. Somebody told you you weren't smart enough, talented enough, strong enough, and you carried that with you like it was the truth. But it wasn't. It never was. The only truth that matters is the one you decide to live by. So tonight, I want you to let go of every label that's been holding you back. Tear it off, burn it if you have to, and replace it with the truth that you are enough, that you are powerful, that you are worthy. Because once you stop letting the world define you, you start defining the world. And when that happens, nothing can stop you. The power of self-belief. Let me tell you something, belief is a force. It's not just an idea, not just a feeling. It's a power that can move mountains, shift destinies, and change the course of your life. But here's the thing, the world will try to shake that belief in you. It'll throw failures at you, setbacks, disappointments. It'll whisper doubt in your ear until you start thinking those whispers are your own thoughts. But belief, real belief, that's the difference between those who succeed and those who stop trying. See, the most successful people in the world, the people who changed history, who left a mark on this world, do you think they never failed? Do you think they never had moments where they doubted themselves? Of course they did. The difference is they believed in themselves more than they believed in their doubts. They pushed forward when the world told them to quit. They held on to something inside of them that nobody else could see. And that belief, that's what made the difference. The problem with so many of us is that we let our past dictate our future. We look at where we've been, the mistakes we've made, the times we've fallen short, and we think that's all we're ever going to be. But listen to me. Your failures do not define you. Your struggles do not define you. What defines you is what you do after. Do you stand back up? Do you push forward? Do you believe in yourself even when nobody else does? Because that's the only thing that separates those who make it from those who don't. You have to see it before it happens. You have to believe it before anybody else does. The world doesn't give you belief. You give it to yourself. And when you do, when you own that belief, people have no choice but to see it too. They may not understand it at first, they may doubt you, but eventually they'll have no choice but to recognize what's always been inside of you. Now, this isn't about being arrogant. This isn't about thinking you're better than anyone else. This is about knowing who you are, knowing what you bring to the table, and refusing to let the world convince you otherwise. Because when you truly believe in yourself, you stop waiting for opportunities, you create them. You stop hoping things work out, you make them work out. You stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the driver. So right here, right now, I need you to make a decision. A decision to believe in yourself no matter what. A decision to trust that you have everything you need inside you. A decision to stop waiting for permission to be great and start walking in your greatness. Because the moment you truly believe in yourself, that's the moment everything changes. Your value is not in what you do, but in who you are. This world will try to make you believe that your worth is tied to what you do, that your value is based on your job, your achievements, your bank account, or the titles you carry. And if you start believing that, you set yourself up for a life of constantly chasing, constantly trying to prove yourself, constantly feeling like you're never enough. But let me tell you the truth. Your value is not in what you do, it's in who you are. See, if your worth is tied to your success, then what happens when you fail? If your identity is built on your achievements, then who are you when things don't go your way? This is why so many people feel lost, why so many people struggle with self-doubt, because they've attached their value to something that can be taken away. But when you understand that your worth is something deeper, something unshakable, nothing in this world can break you. Think about it. When a diamond is buried in the dirt, does it lose its value? When gold is covered in mud, does it stop being gold? No, their value doesn't change just because their surroundings do. And the same goes for you. No matter what you've been through, no matter what mistakes you've made, no matter where you are in life right now, your worth has never changed. You are still valuable. You are still enough. You always have been. But the world won't always see that. It'll try to measure you by its own flawed standards. It'll tell you that if you don't have this, if you haven't done that, then you don't matter. But let me tell you something. The people who truly understand their worth don't need the world to validate them. They know who they are, and because of that, they move differently. They don't beg for approval. They don't shrink themselves to fit someone else's idea of success. They walk in their truth, no matter who recognizes it. So if you've been measuring yourself by what you do, if you've been chasing validation instead of embracing your worth, it's time to shift your mindset. Your value isn't something that can be lost, stolen, or taken away. It's something you were born with. And when you start living like you believe that, that's when you step into your power. Because at the end of the day, what you achieve will fade. Titles come and go. Money can be lost. But who you are, that's forever. And once you understand that, once you live in that truth, you will never again question your worth. Cut off anything that diminishes your worth. Some of you are carrying things, people, situations that are draining you, that are pulling you away from your value. You know it, you feel it, but you're scared to let go. Scared to walk away. Scared of what might happen if you do. But let me tell you something. Anything that makes you forget your worth, anything that makes you question yourself, anything that pulls you away from the person you were meant to be, needs to go. I don't care if it's a relationship, a friendship, a job, a mindset, a habit. If it's not helping you grow, it's holding you back. And if it's holding you back, it's keeping you from stepping into your true power. Too many people stay in situations that are beneath them because they don't believe they deserve better. They settle for less because they think that's all they're worth. But when you truly understand your value, you stop settling. You stop accepting things that don't align with who you are. And I know, letting go isn't easy. Walking away isn't always simple. But you have to ask yourself, what's more important? Holding on to something that's draining you, or stepping into the life you were meant to live? Because you can't do both. You can't soar while carrying dead weight. Some of you are waiting for a sign to move on. waiting for permission to walk away from something that's hurting you. Well, this is your sign. This is your permission. You deserve more. You deserve better. And the moment you start believing that, you'll start attracting it. So make the choice. Cut off what no longer serves you. Let go of what's holding you back. Step into your worth. Because when you do, everything in your life starts to align with that decision. Walk with purpose, speak with confidence. There's a difference between walking and walking with purpose. There's a difference between speaking and speaking with confidence. And the people who make an impact in this world, the ones who change lives, shift minds, and command respect, they do both. They don't move aimlessly. They don't second guess themselves. They don't shrink when they speak. They step into every room, every opportunity, every moment, knowing exactly who they are. But too many people walk through life unsure of themselves. They hesitate, they overthink, they wait for permission to take up space. And when they speak, their words are laced with doubt, with insecurity, with fear. Not because they aren't capable, not because they don't have something valuable to say, but because they don't truly believe in their own voice. But listen to me. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? See, confidence isn't arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone. It's about knowing your value so deeply that you don't need validation from anyone. It's about standing firm in who you are, even when the world questions you, even when they doubt you, even when they try to shake you. Because when you walk with purpose, people feel it. When you speak with confidence, people listen. And confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. Every time you show up, every time you push past doubt, every time you choose to believe in yourself, you're strengthening that foundation. And eventually it becomes unshakable. You stop apologizing for who you are. You stop waiting for approval. You stop making yourself small so others feel comfortable. You own your presence. But confidence without purpose is empty. You have to know where you're going. You have to have a vision, a goal, a direction. Otherwise, you're just moving without meaning. And when you have purpose, when you know why you're doing what you're doing, that confidence becomes unstoppable. Because you're not just moving, you're moving with intention. You're not just talking, you're speaking life, speaking truth, speaking power. So ask yourself, how are you walking through this life? Are you stepping into rooms with your head down, doubting yourself, hoping no one notices you? Or are you walking with purpose, with confidence, knowing that you belong, that you have something to offer, that you are enough? Because once you make that shift, once you truly own who you are, you'll never move the same way again. Elevate others as you elevate yourself. True success isn't just about what you achieve, it's about how many people you lift up along the way. See, the world teaches us to focus on ourselves, to climb, to hustle, to grind, to get to the top no matter what. But real success, real greatness, that comes from reaching back, from bringing others with you, from using your value not just to build yourself up, but to build up those around you. Because here's the truth. You don't lose anything by helping others rise. Your success doesn't shrink just because you make room for someone else. In fact, when you elevate others, you elevate yourself. You become a leader, a force, a person who isn't just focused on their own journey, but is making an impact on the world. Look at the people you admire most, the ones who left a legacy, the ones who are remembered. They weren't just focused on themselves. They lifted others. They inspired, they mentored, they gave back. And that's what made them great. Because success without impact is empty. What good is reaching the top if you're standing there alone? Now, this doesn't mean you carry people who refuse to walk. It doesn't mean you give and give to those who aren't willing to put in the work. But it does mean that when you have knowledge, you share it. When you have resources, you create opportunities. When you see someone struggling, you extend a hand instead of turning away. And here's the thing, when you help others see their worth, it reinforces your own. When you pour into others, you remind yourself of what you have to offer, because the more you lift others, the stronger you become. And when you surround yourself with people who are growing, who are pushing themselves, who are striving for more, you rise together. So don't just chase success, chase impact. Don't just focus on getting ahead, focus on bringing others with you. Because real value, real worth, it's not just about how high you climb, it's about how many people you lift along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, the message is simple. Know your worth, own your worth, walk in your worth. Stop waiting for the world to validate you. Stop letting circumstances shake you. Stop shrinking yourself to fit someone else's expectations. You were born valuable. Nothing can take that away. But value means nothing if you don't recognize it. Power means nothing if you don't use it. So this is your moment to stand tall, to step into your greatness, to stop playing small, because the world needs you. It needs your voice, your presence, your impact. And it's time you start living like you believe that. And when you do, when you walk with purpose, when you speak with confidence, when you elevate others as you elevate yourself, you don't just change your life, you change the world. So go out there and own it. Own your value, own your power, own who you are, because once you do, nothing, absolutely nothing can stop you. Thank you.